Good evening, everyone. Hope you're enjoying your week. It's Wednesday. It's hump day, as the Americans say. So only 2 more days to go during your week. But here's me, still hard at work. What is it, 9:30? Nearly 9:30 Wednesday evening, and I'm still hard at work, driving the epic 159 from Streatham all the way to Marble Arch. This is actually quite a personal route for me because my wife grew up in Streatham and I grew up in Kennington. So it passes both of those locations, and it's just a really nice route anyway. Fingers crossed that Omsi holds out today. It's been all right today, to be fair, up until now, but obviously streams do funny things. So we're going to kick off. As you can see, there's currently nothing on the board, and you can see as well, because I've been setting up the stream, there's a big queue of buses behind me, so we better sort that out right now. So first things first, we've got to set our route. No, first things first, we've got to turn the thing on.
Fire system pressure okay.
Do let me know, guys, if the sound quality is okay, or if you want anything turned up or turned down. Oh, I just realised that it's such a quiet vehicle. I thought I hadn't turned it on, but I had. Okay, so we are going for the 159, of course. So we'll just scroll through. 159 to Marble Arch is correct. And then we've got to select our duty as well, which is 159. I don't know what any of these mean. But anyway, we know that we don't want Marble Arch. That's what I've got to do. Do you know, I really should set up my stream beforehand. OBG, Old Brick Gamer himself. How you doing, Dino? You're very welcome to the stream. Yeah, not been streaming for a long time, dude. I'm just going to change the time here. I'm going to cheat a little bit, because it's just nicer to drive during the day. Who wants to see London when it's miserable and wet and dark? So we've changed that. So now let's select our duty. Dino, I think you'll like this, mate. I don't know if you've seen Omsi. I know you're really into your ETS, and anyone else watching, follow that man. He's brilliant. Very, very funny. And do you know what, Dino? You don't do enough rainbow characters anymore. What's going on? You've not done Zippy in so long. We need Zippy back. Right, so we're going to first stop Streatham, and then we should be good. So let's have a look outside. We can see it's scrolling through. It takes ages, I won't lie. So now we've got to look at our timetable, see when we're due out. I'm still getting used to the buttons and everything. 12:44, and it's 12 o'clock. So from the magic of my buttons, I'm going to speed through time. We'll go to about 12:43. It's all good. And then hopefully that silly blind would have sorted itself out. Yay! So we are good to rock and roll. So first things first, we've got to foot on the brake, go for drive, handbrake off, and we should be able to rock. Yay!
Streatham St Leonard's Church.
So I think the first bus stop's up here on the left. All the people are eager to get on this wonderful bus route 159. What do you think of this game so far? Because obviously you're into your ETS, as I know. You've been streaming for about a year now, Dino, so congratulations on that, dude. As you know, I've been following you all that time. Looks fantastic. Thank you very much, bud. The only thing is, the game's really old. A bit like ETS, it's really, really old. Problem is, ETS has been updated year in, year out. Omsi, nothing. Nothing at all. So it glitches, it freaks out, it crashes all the time. So I'm hoping that it's okay today. So let's see if I can remember this route now.
Streatham Station.
And this London add-on was actually created by a fella who lives in London, and he designed it in his bedroom, which is just amazing. So you can see the frame drops really badly. You know, we're used to 60 FPS on most games, but this game, it can go down to like 10, which isn't great, but it feels so good when you're actually driving. When it's working well. I mean, it's stuttering and stammering all over the place, but when you're driving it, this is what Streatham looks like. Now, fair enough, there's a few repeated shops and whatnot, but that's all right. It doesn't get rid of how the game feels, and all of the characters are mannequins. But that's all right. Can deal with that.
592 Marble Arch.
And I've got it so that we're not collecting any money, which is quite realistic, to be fair, because in London, of course, it's all Oyster cards and whatnot. Turn that silly indicator off. I found this bus to be the best because lots of the other buses, when you press the brakes, they're so immediate that you throw forward, and it's not very nice. But this stops really smoothly. As you can see, the frames are dropping a little bit, but it's okay as long as the game doesn't crash. I can enjoy my journey. I'm rocking a little bit too fast though. It's a 20-mile-an-hour speed limit. I'm doing 30. But look, it's quiet. No one knows. Shh, don't tell the police. I have actually got collisions turned off on this game. So if I need to make up a little bit of time, I can go through red lights. I can actually go through vehicles. But, you know, I want it to be realistic. So I'll stick to the speed limit. Well, not the speed limit. Okay, I won't stick to the speed limit, but I'll stick to the physics of the game. I won't go through any vehicles or buildings. Unless I have to. So I know that it's the second bus stop because people are moving towards me. Come on, mannequins. Jump on board.
1592 Marble Arch. Hello there, driver.
No worries, Dino. Thank you very much for joining me. I know it's only brief, but I'm assuming that you're streaming. If anyone is watching, check out Old Brick Gamer on Facebook Gaming. He's brilliant. Very, very funny. Have a great stream, buddy. Okay, so we're going down Streatham High Street, I believe, now. Typical Range Rover. Cut me up.
King's Court
Well, he didn't
Road.
cut me up, but he's just a lot faster than me. But to be fair, we're not exactly driving in Grand Theft Auto, are we? Though sometimes it feels it in London. Are the mannequins getting in? Mr. and Mrs. Mannequin and their lovely son or daughter. I keep having to look over at my stream deck to work out which button does what. And I've got to remember to turn off that indicator.
Mount Ephraim Road.
So all of those voices that you've just heard now, normally it only happens the first part of the trip, and the computer basically, it gets all of the voices of all of the people to complain about my driving. It's supposed to be one person at a time. Generally speaking, that sorts itself out after the first one. So you should hear a few people moaning and complaining about my skill or lack of. Well, that's not the best view, is it?
Marble Arch.
Welcome on board. Now, I've not hit a curb yet. Now, this is an improvement on earlier. I can hear people moaning from the back. So, if this was real Streatham, I'm not sure if NatWest is down here, straight ahead, or if it's behind us. I'm not sure. But it's pretty good. I think it's behind. The White Hart pub on the left. Looks like a slightly bigger version than the real thing. But that's alright. We'll let them away with that. And my goodness, on the right is an estate agent. If that's not the biggest estate agent in the world. You can understand why they do it though, because basically the guy who created this went out and painstakingly, and I mean painstakingly, went out and took photographs of all of London. Now, in order for the game to run properly, obviously you can't use every single picture. So what he did, he cleverly used the very important pictures, you know, the landmarks, and then just repeated lots of little ones. I've no idea if we're keeping to time or not. But there's not too much traffic, so we should be okay. I don't know what that is. Is that Bookmakers on the left?
Bar Hill Road.
And I think on the left here, that used to be a Mecca bingo, I believe. Or it might even be Caesar's. Oh no, I've just passed the... Oh no, don't tell. It's just driving past. Well, they won't get on because I'm not parked. Oh, that's horrible. I don't think I've got a reverse either. Oh, well, they can get next bus. London's not like the rest of the UK, you know. It's like every 5 minutes, isn't it? I obviously need to learn my routes.
Here for Brixton bus garage.
Now, how is that Brixton bus garage when it's plainly in Streatham? Oh, this is a busy stop, isn't it? Only it's not my stop. Brilliant. I was wondering why no one was coming close. Anyone vanishing? They tend to leave my bus and just vanish instantly. Right, so this journey I did earlier on probably takes about half an hour, 40 minutes, I suppose. 40 minutes probably. And if we've got enough time, I'll do the return journey. I just love this game so much. And I love it even through all of its faults. Probably how my wife feels about me. Anyone vanishing?
159.
Of course there is.
Arch.
But it's quirky little things like that, but it doesn't bother me. Because the main thing is the driving, the feel of the game, the fact that it feels like I'm in London. And it really does. So far, what we've been streaming for about 20 minutes, we've been driving for about 10. I would say, yeah, another 25 minutes to Marble Arch. Maybe half hour. It's definitely much better to do it during the day, though. Nighttime, it runs better at nighttime, but everything's so dark, you can't really make out any landmarks. And obviously the whole point of the game is that you feel like you're driving through London. If it's just a road, it's just another driving game, isn't it? You'd be better off playing ETS or something similar, you know. So I think over here on the left, that's a pub in real life. I can't remember what it's called. Gosh, I might have just passed the bus stop, you know.
Homewood Road.
I don't know. Oh no, I stopped there, didn't I? Ever the professional Titan. Look at this beautiful slow stopping. Now if that there is a Sainsbury's local, I mean look at the size of it, that could be a standard Sainsbury's, couldn't it? I don't think that's a Sainsbury's local. It's huge. You'd be getting more than just your essentials in there. Lots more people.
592. Marble Arch.
Earlier on I did this route and it was so busy that I stopped at one of the stops and the mannequins weren't able to get on because every single seat was taken and people standing and everything. So what are we looking at? We see a Costa.
Road.
What's that? Oh, flooring, carpet place. So I think we're coming up to the prison at Brixton, actually. We're quite close to it. I feel like this is literally a journey down memory lane for me because my wife was born and grew up in Streatham, which obviously we just come from. Then further down this road, it's no longer there, but I bought one of my first cars there. I don't think it wasn't my first car, but it was the first car that I bought myself, you know, without my dad helping me out and whatnot. Just casually just drifting over to the other side of the road.
Gem Avenue, Brixton Prison.
Yeah, I was right. Coming up on Brixton Prison. We'll see if anyone's escaped now. Do these guys look like convicts? Not that anyone particularly looks like convicts. Oh man, that is not a great look.
159. 2. Marble Arch.
Oh, we had someone saying hey to the driver. Quite right. I'm a hard-working man. Now, the next couple of stops, because I'm... Oh, achoo! I didn't see that red light. I was busy sneezing.
Glenham Gardens.
Yeah, it was down here on the left that I bought my first car. Or one of the first cars, like I say. Bing! So this is a great example of the game. So on the left is just a repeated picture again and again and again, but it doesn't get rid of the feel that we're on Brixton Hill. I don't know how they do it really, but the road, it's got the right sort of dips and bends. It's just got everything. I don't really mind about the scenery as long as we feel like we're in Brixton. Oh no, I said that I'd do that, didn't I?
159 to Marble Arch.
He looks like a prisoner. We should report him. Now, is that ambulance helping someone? We'll go around him, I think. Major lag there.
Rush Common.
Another Sainsbury's local. They must have shares around this area. Streatham seemed to be dominated by Tesco, and Brixton seems to be dominated by Sainsbury's. Don't know if this old girl's getting on. I'm not likely to find out either.
To Marble Arch.
No, she doesn't want to get on. Now, I tell you what I do want to show you. This is amazing. So now we can see that I'm actually 1 minute early. That's real time. That's brilliant. That is literally updated. Look, now it's due. It is brilliant. It's so good. I can't tell you how good it is. Well, I just did. It's brilliant. So much thought and so much detail is in this game, but I just wish that they returned to it. You know, it's like a 10-year-old game or something.
Lambeth Town Hall.
If they return to it, think of what they could do now. It'd just be immense. There are the new Route Master buses. You can actually drive them in this game, but for some reason I've not been able to get it to work for me. Every time I accelerate, it doesn't do anything. The pedal goes down and it doesn't move. I suspect it's something that I'm doing, if I'm honest. That was silly of me. I can't see the lights now. See, this has the feel of Brixton. It really does. All the different buses. All the different makes of buses as well. It's just brilliant. And of course, to add to the realism of being in London, the traffic lights take forever. What can you do there? I don't think this is our bus stop, the first one. I think it's the second one. So we've got to wait for this 415 to go past, I think. Or are these people walking down to me? I think they might be walking to me, you know. I'll stop properly at the stop though. They were walking down towards me. I feel bad now.
Marble Arch.
I mean, not that bad, but you know. Now, I reckon if someone who lived in Brixton, or even just knew Brixton just slightly, looked at this part, you would know where you were. I'm absolutely convinced. Absolutely convinced. I think it's amazing. I know it sounds like I've got shares in the game. I really don't. I just love the whole idea of driving through London. And as I said in my last stream, my dad was a London driver, a London bus driver for over 40 years. And he drove he drove everything. You know, he drove bendy buses. He drove the old Red Arrows, the old Route Masters. He just drove everything. Night buses, day buses. He did everything. Tour buses. So every time that I get into this game, I feel like I'm a kid again, because when I used to sit on the bus with my dad, you know, that was brilliant. All of the sights and sounds. It's a nice little memory. I used to go on the bus with my dad, and I used to beg him to sit in the driving seat, you know, when we'd stop for a break or whatever, and I'd sit in the driving seat and I'd just press the buttons for the doors to open and close. Look at me now. I can do it anytime I want.
159 to Marble Arch.
I mean, it looks like I'm killing all of the people who are just vanishing into thin air, but I'm still doing the right thing. I'm driving well, stopping conscientiously. Brixton station on the right. That looks good as well. And Poundland on the left. M&S on the left. I think that's correct.
Brixton Police Station.
Probably not two of them though.
Here for Brixton Academy.
Yeah, Brixton Academy is on the left. Or coming up on the left. I think it's just down that road on the left there. It's not that bus stop, it's the second bus stop. And they've got a little bit of a walk back. Or they can just simply vanish. There's this guy coming for my bus. Shall I wait for him? I'll be so irritated if he just walks straight by. After me waiting. Yay! See how kind I am? So now we are on Brixton Road, and this brings us down to the Oval, and from there we'll go Kennington Road, I believe. Well, Kennington Park Road and then Kennington Road. What's that guy doing on the left? Looks like he's up to no good to me.
159 to Marble Arch.
That was telling me not to be a naughty boy and try and move off with my doors open. Would I dare? And I think that's quite accurate. The SO on the left. I think that's a Tesco, maybe? Tesco Express? I don't know if it was once owned by SO. Now let's have a cheeky look at this timetable
159 to
and see if we're early.
Marble Arch.
It says due, so hopefully we're on time. We might have to put our foot down though, because I don't think it tells you if you're running late. I think it only tells you if you're running early.
Grove Way.
Oh, I've done it again. I've drove past the lights, so now I can't see it. And the house is over here on the right, just in front of the, I don't know if you can see my cursor here, but just to the left of the bus there are two houses. In the 1960s and 70s, my parents lived there. So this literally is a trip down memory lane for me. Or Brixton Road, whichever you prefer. Eventually we'll get going with this, with these lights. But you know, you've got to keep realistic, and having roadworks and temporary signs and whatnot is realistic. And if you look at the back of the bus as well, everything works. So brake lights, indicators, you know, it's just brilliant. I think the attention to detail is amazing. Absolutely amazing. It's pretty slow to move off, but we're rocking and rolling now. And that low price food and wine, that does exist. The majority of it, like I said, the major landmarks are quite accurate. Very accurate, actually. Oh, forgot to open the front doors.
159 to Marble Arch.
Be the worst driver in the world if I forget to open the doors. Just literally just pull up and then just drive away.
Hilliard Street.
Hilliard Street, I've never heard of it, but it must be on this route because it's so accurately mapped. It's incredible. I do actually have my foot to the floor, and I'm not it's no rocket ship, let me tell you. And that girl looks like she needs a bus.
159
No one getting off? Oh no, they're just exploding. Or vanishing. I don't know what's worse. It's brilliant that you can see people going up the stairs as well. I can actually drive it in that view, but it might be a little bit difficult because it's the lane itself is quite tight, you know. It looks like I'm driving on the right here, but
Road.
when I pull in, you'll notice I'm really close to that curb. I'll see if I can drive like this. I don't know if I can really. And I'm not sure if there's much benefit either, because you're not really getting to see anything. We'll put the indicator on. We'll be a good boy. Nah, I mean, you don't really get to see anything, do you?
159 to Marble Arch.
Someone needs to get the shears out or something. There's a bit of growth here. I'm getting that air again. Right, foot to the floor. And I think we're coming up to Kennington Park shortly.
St Mark's Church. A light here for Oval Station and cricket ground.
Funny thing is, the cricket ground doesn't actually exist in this game, because I did take a little cheeky wander down there yesterday, and it's not been mapped. So yeah, they'll get a surprise if they get off my bus looking for the cricket ground. And this bus stop, I used to jump on the 159, order number 3, after my school I finished school in Camberwell New Road, which is just off to the right. And I used to jump on a 185 or a 36 down to the Oval. Then I'd change buses to a 159 or a 3 to go home. So all of my life, up until the most recent history of my life, has been dominated by this area. And I'm not quite sure whether I should be in the left lane or the right lane here, because we are going straight, but because we're a bus, I think we're supposed to be in this lane. This looks like I'm going to hit the curb though, maybe. It's quite cool. When you're driving along, if you hit a curb, it just gives you a little jolt on the steering wheel, as it just did. Yeah, look to the left. All of those bushes, they're actually the Oval Cricket Ground, which doesn't exist. It's just a load of bush. And off to the right is Kennington Park. I'm not sure how good that looks on the map, actually. Let's have a little look. Oh. Yes, they've not mapped it massively well, but all of this is very accurate all around here. That is tremendously accurate. And I can tell you all of the housing straight in front, that is very accurate. Finally a green light. And all around here is mapped very well, because this is a kind of crossover road, if you like, because they've also got the 133 and the 333, I think, and they come along this road. So they've mapped this very, very well, because it's such a crossover point. And there's the number 3. The number 3 and the 159 from this point kind of go the same direction. The number 3 goes over Lambeth Bridge though, and the 159 goes over Westminster, I believe. Nice little clip of the curb there. And the roadworks ahead of us, actually. Oh, let me just zoom in. The roadworks in front of us did actually exist 2 years ago. So it is quite an accurate representation of the area. But obviously it is slightly outdated now. Somebody needs to get off at Windmill Row.
Windmill Row.
And just off to the right is where I had my first proper job at a courier company. And if you're ever driving through London, or at least going through London, because parking's shocking, if you're ever passing through this way, on the right hand side, again, I don't think you, oh no, you can see my cursor. Just here, there's actually a shop called Madeira Star, and they do the best sandwiches to order. And there's also down here on the right, there's Gandhi's restaurant, and that is a superb Indian takeaway and restaurant. Highly recommend them two places. You'll notice if this was an accurate representation, I mean, how many newspaper shops can you have? And barber shops. I mean, I suppose everyone's got to read the news and get their hair cut. Hello, have I got a door open? I certainly have time. Oh, Oh no, I've missed the lights.
Bloody hell.
Oh, they're moaning at me now. Now, not that I have ever done this, nor would I ever condone anyone else doing it, but just at this point is where congestion charge starts. So what people, I've heard anyway, I've heard people do it. Personally, I never would, but I've heard of people sitting behind buses because the camera that tracks you is actually further down here on the left-hand side. So if you sit behind a bus, you can drive straight into congestion charge and not get registered. I've heard.
Kennington Lane.
And this is where I used to get off from school back in the day. And of course, in my day, the 159 was actually the old style route master. So I literally used to run and jump on the back.
To Marble Arch.
Showing my age now, I think. There is a petrol station here in real life, but it's definitely not like that. It's a very, very small one. Very small forecourt. Very small indeed. So this bit, it's not mapped the best, this particular bit. But again, it doesn't take away from the environment. The road feels correct. Everything feels good. And the mannequins like living here. Right, let's have a look at this little screen.
To Marble Arch.
It just says due, so I don't know if I'm early or late, really. It doesn't like me pressing the accelerator unless them doors are firmly closed. You'll notice all the time I use indicators at every manoeuvre.
Kennington Road.
What can I say? I'm a professional. Even if I'm just pretending to be one. New style route master. I'd love to be able to drive that just to see what it's like. In the game and real life, actually. I think it'd be fun. Imperial War Museum over on the right. That's always a wonderful time. And completely free. Oh, look at that bad boy, look. I don't know if this is my stop or not. Oh, it must be.
To Marble Arch.
It is. Excellent. I always get confused. In London, they always put like two bus stops next to each other because they're so busy. Whoa! Now, as you can see, guys, that was plainly not my fault. Apart from the fact that I pulled out without looking. But besides that, it was his fault. 100%. If you take away the fact that it was mine. I've not worked out where the horn is, actually, to give a beep beep. Make those lights, make those lights. There's definitely not Barclays there. That's the police station on the right, Kennington police station. And we're coming up on Lambeth North, as I'm sure the lady will say in a moment.
Station.
Look at that. Bang on cue. Well, slightly early, actually. Perfect. Perfect stopping.
159.
Anyone getting off?
Marble Arch.
Just popping into nothing. Now I think this is another bit that I tend to clip. No, I might be okay. Coming in straight. NatWest is indeed there. Costa Coffee is indeed there. So that is all correct. Let's see, can we see Lambeth North Station as well? We can, over here. We'll zoom out a little bit. Yeah, there's Lambeth North. Looking excellent. Now NatWest, that's incorrect. NatWest doesn't go around there. That's a bit weird driving like that. Need to change. Sainsbury's local, yes, that's correct. It's certainly not that big. I think there's a post office down here on the left as well, as I remember. I actually moved out of London probably about 4.5 years ago now. Now I'm up in the Norfolk coast, or on the Norfolk coast. So all of my information about London is pretty out of date, but you know, I'm sure most of it is accurate. I was a courier in London for, gosh, 20 years. So I was around these roads all the time, every single day. Everyone's moaning in the back. They'll be moaning in a minute because every single time I've come around this bit, I've clipped the curb. I can't help it. I'll try and go straight.
A light here for London Eye.
I've clipped it already. Like, what? I've clipped it already. I was trying so hard. St Thomas's Hospital, where I was born. And indeed, my wife was born. Now you can see that the steering wheel is getting flicked because I'm actually touching the curb here. So I'll take a slightly bigger turn here than I was going to. Thank you very much, Minnie. So there's St Thomas's directly in front. I did not clip the curb. Magnificent. And you'll be able to see Big Ben, or at least the Elizabeth Tower, which houses Big Ben. And Parliament's looking excellent. I've done it again though. I've overran so I can't see the lights. What a donut. That's a good view. It's a slow bus though. It's a great bus. It's the best one for braking, I think. Because I'm not too jolty, I can control this quite nicely. And then down here, the London Eye is off to the right. Let's see if we can grab a little zoom round so you can see the London Eye. Oh, brilliant. Can we see it? Sort of. I don't really want to crash or drive off into the water of the Thames. But yeah, there's the London Eye. I actually remember when that was being erected, which is pretty cool. Took weeks. Absolute weeks. So down here, this is a bit confusing because the road says go to the left, but buses can turn right. But it doesn't say that. So it's a little bit confusing. The famous Parliament Square on the left. I think I must have turned down the amount of traffic because the game crashes a lot. But since I've turned down the traffic, touch wood, I've not actually... The game's not crashed. Okay, I know I've had FPS drops, but that's not too bad. I can deal with that.
159 to Marble Arch.
Oh, they're still getting off. Oh, she didn't know what she was doing. She was just walking around the place. Okay, so we're going along Whitehall now.
Horse Guards Parade.
And we're passing Downing Street, so we can say hi to Boris. Oh, I nearly drove past this guy. Mannequin's looking good. Is this lady getting off? She looks like she wants to get off. Yep. I'll be interested to see if I've made good time. And we're coming up on
Trafalgar Square.
Trafalgar Square. That was good cue for the lady. Now Nelson's column is directly in front, and if you notice, Nelson is not on it. He should be on the top there, look. He should be up here. But it's like just some wet cigarette or something. That's what it looks like. I mean, to be fair, this particular picture, that almost looks real if it weren't for the mannequins. Ovs. But I think it looks magnificent. Absolutely magnificent. Right, so we'll chuck a left down here. Ding! And again, round here, I do tend to clip the curb a little bit, so I need to go slightly wide. Nope, I hit the curb. And nearly hit the cab as well. Oh no, he's getting his own back. So this is Trafalgar Square. And that's Canada House on the left. The right, I beg your pardon. And I think this building on the left, just poking out, I think that used to be the National Lottery headquarters, Camelot headquarters. Not that that's a massive sort of landmark, but you know, back in the day when the National Lottery first came out, that was quite a landmark. Everyone dreamt of going there to collect their winnings. I only went past it, sadly.
Regent Street, Charles II Street.
Now, my dad did actually drive the bus round here, and I remember being on a night bus, I'm waking up just before he turned here. And this is, you know, it's quite a nice little memory to have. Being on a night bus with my dad. He didn't clip the curbs like I am. I am clipping the curbs like nobody's business. Hopefully no one who is riding the bus will sue me. This is a bit awkward. I think there's a stop here on the left. So I've got to do a little swing in. Expertly done. Expertly done. You wouldn't know that I've never driven a bus in my life.
159 to Marble Arch.
So we're coming up on Piccadilly Circus. This is all pretty accurate as well. We're about to turn left onto Regent Street. And again, this is one I've got to go a little bit wider than I think because I normally clip the curb. I think I might have just touched the curb. The bus raised up slightly, but that's okay. Anyone getting on? Anyone getting off?
To Marble Arch.
Oh no! That wasn't my bus stop. I mean, people still get off, but this is my bus stop. Oh no. Or is it? Is it the next one? I think it's the next one, you know. I think it's this one. What a Herbert. No, it was the last one. So I've stopped at 2 bus stops, and it was the one in the middle.
Marble Arch.
I don't think people will walk down for it, will they? No. I don't blame them. Well, at least people got off. No one knew got on, but at least people got off.
Henry's Toy Store.
I've not looked over to see if Hamleys is accurate. That looks pretty good, actually. That looks pretty good. Mind you, it looks like they've put Hamleys on the left and on the right of the road. But, you know, to be fair, it is an iconic building. So fair play. There are lots of people on the way to Marble Arch. Lots of cabs as well. Let's see if I can time this so that I can see the light. Perfect. Perfect. And I've stopped before the lights, look. Oh, come on. I must concentrate. Oh, is that bus stop? He might want to get on. He certainly do, sir.
159 to
What? And then he got he got on and off. Oh, sack it, as long as he's paid his fare. Oh, I've got back doors open. Always protect your back doors. That's what I've been told.
Jesus.
I love that. When you do something wrong, they throw in the odd sort of, oh, Jesus, or There's an old Irish lady that says, I can't remember what she says actually, but she has a right old moan. It's quite cool. It's a very nice touch. And there's another guy that says, oh man, it's the worst ride ever. No, I'm only joking, but seriously, let me get off before I'm sick. It's a great touch. So we've got one more stop before Oxford Street. Like a legend, parked perfectly.
159 to Marble Arch.
We'll let everyone off. Oh, that old girl's sitting down. Alright, so we've got to chuck a left onto Oxford Street now. So this is Oxford Circus. It's basically the crossing between Oxford Street and Regent Street, essentially. The number 12 that I was driving last night goes straight ahead, and that's his that's the final stop. But I chuck a left here, and then we go down Oxford Street all the way to Marble Arch, where this bus terminates. As does the stream, I think.
Oxford Circus Station.
Oh, I've
Forest
clipped
Street.
I clipped the curb again. Will I ever learn? Oh, the bus left the tarmac. Will I ever learn? Now, is this my bus stop? They're walking, so maybe it is. There's a lot of bus stops on Oxford Street, so I'm never quite sure which one's mine.
To Marble Arch.
Now, what I'll do just before I move, let me show you around the bus, because there's this nifty little thing. Whoa! Now, if he's not a criminal, I mean, look at the size of his neck, and yet his shirt is still too big for him. So we'll have a look upstairs as well. Yeah, looking good. Looking good. You can actually have a little look as well. I mean, there are some creepy people. Absolutely creepy people. But that's why it's so realistic, you see. So back to the driving. I see a Mackie Dougall's on the left. I've no idea if that's accurate. John Lewis on the right is definitely accurate. I know that. That's most certainly correct. Where's the horn on this thing? Meep, meep. I need to get... Oh, it automatically goes back to that view. That's good. That's a good view. Come on, taxi. Well, to be fair, it's not the taxis, it's the lights. Mimit. Another 159, but this time the new route master, which I'm very jealous of, but I do like this bus as well. It drives very, very nice. Slammed on the brakes a little bit too hard, but no one moaned, so this is good. Anyone getting off? Yeah, all just popping into oblivion. Amazing. Red light as soon as I pull away. But will I be on time? This is the big question of the stream. Will I be on time? I don't know if I will be. I've messed around a little bit. I've changed camera angles. I don't know if I'm going to be on time. But we shall see. Come on, traffic lights. Let's go. It's not very... I said on the last stream, it's not very intuitive the way you move the mouse. In order to move the camera like this, you have to press the scroll wheel of the mouse in. And in order to zoom in and out, you have to use the right mouse button and drag the mouse forward and back. It's not very intuitive at all. And I couldn't find any instructions for it either. You know, you just have to sort of feel your way around. But once you get it, it's not the end of the world, really. Bond Street. My sister used to work on the opposite side of the road in a shoe shop. I don't think that's the last... That's not the last stop, is it? I think there's one more stop. And then everybody's got to get out. Everybody's got to get off. It's so funny when you're a kid and you get in. Like, I remember I sat on the bus once when my dad let me. And you sit there just moving the steering wheel left and right like you're driving. And of course, if you were driving, if you did that, you'd kill people, including yourself. But it's funny, as a kid, you just naturally do all that, don't you? Okay, so I believe this is the last stop, and then we've got to go to the bus stand.
Marble Arch Station.
Yes. Last stop. It's not that stop because we're not quite at Marble Arch. Oh, I'm flying now, 37 miles an hour in a 20. Okay, I went through that. Did you hear that? That guy. Oh, Jesus. Okay, now these poor people, they're waiting for a bus, right? Oh, no, it's not even this bus stop. Oh, no, Titan. Everyone's getting ready to walk off, look. You can see them in the rear view mirror. And these people want to get on a bus. But you can't get on the bus because it's the final stop. See everyone waiting patiently. It's cool though because they're actually coming down the stairs. I mean, that is cool. You can see them going down. I mean, that is brilliant, isn't it? That's such a touch of class. I know that they explode when they come out, but I mean, look at this. Go down the stairs and there she is. I think that's brilliant. Absolute class it is. I don't know what you do if you close the doors and trap them in. Okay, so now we are going round to the standpoint now, and we'll find out how I've got on this evening. Let's be honest. Probably not great. We made up a bit of time going through that red light though. As long as I'm not early, I can't stand being early. So it's just round here. We've got to chuck a little right and then park up. Now, let's be honest. There's no way on earth that a Prius is on a V plate. What's that, 98? 99? They didn't even exist, I don't think. Come on, red light. But you know, got a nice transit, Prius, taxi. Got some nice vehicles on the go, really. So we'll just park behind this new Route Master. And then that is our journey complete. And there we have it. So let's have a look. You can't actually see this. However, it's given me a perfect score. Oh man, it's a shame you can't see this. So effectively, I was 2 minutes late, but that's fine because they give like a tolerance of 4 minutes, I think, before they say that you're early or late. So 2 minutes and 6 seconds. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. I love that. It all says okay. Love it. So now what we'll do, we'll shut down. So we'll turn off the engine, off everything. And then we'll go outside. And then we'll go up to my driver, who is currently looking in his crystal ball, because he knows it's the end of the stream. So thank you ever so much for joining me this evening. I love the 159 route. I think it's brilliant. Tomorrow I might do the 133, I think, or the number 3. I'll decide. Anyway, have yourselves a wonderful evening. Until next time, take care. Have a wonderful night.